Hello everybody, like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily contents. Yes, people, welcome to LFC Red Forever channel. We've got another show, which is the preview to the West Ham game, which is going to be played tomorrow at London Stadium. And I've got very special guest with me. His name is Mohammed. He's got his own channel, and we're going to be discussing throughout the show previews and the formations and obviously score prediction as well. So let's bring him on. Let's bring him on. What's going on, Mr. Mohammed?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to get this preview done with you, and hopefully we can have a good conversation.
100%, bro. 100%. But let me put the. I want to talk about this. Yeah. This guy from AFTV. Yeah. I just bumped into it. I just bumped into it on Twitter. So I was thinking to myself, why are we living in people's heads all the time? And they discuss us on a regular basis. We're not even their competitors. So let's listen to him, see what he says, and then we could discuss it as well.
Our season, when they won the league, flu season, big COVID, 31 years without a trophy, without winning the Premier League. That was the fluke season. Do you understand? We have Premier League heritage. We've won this thing 3 times before they won it once. We know about pressure. When they won it, there was no crowd. So they need to one-time merchants. They don't sit on the dining of the Premier League. They sit with Leicester and Blackburn. Do you understand me? They're not an elite team in the Premier League. They're not an elite team in the Premier League. They've done nothing in this Premier League. One time in 31 years, we are lifting this Premier League trophy. Nobody's stopping that. We are lifting it. I believe in this, boys.
Wow. What do you think of that, bro? Like, every single time there's someone competing for the Premier League, Liverpool is in someone's head. Like, what have we done to these people for them always discussing Liverpool Football Club on a regular basis? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't even mind Arsenal. I don't really care about Arsenal in any other way. Like Man United, I care about. Everton, I care about. Other than that, there's no other rivals I care as much. But for some reason, Tottenham fans, Arsenal fans, Man City fans, it's like every single time they're competing for a title, even though we're not in it, they always discuss us. What have we done to these, bro? Like, Mohammed, what have we done to them, bro?
It's probably because of the rich heritage and the history that we've got.
Yeah.
That every time we win a trophy, it becomes that much harder for them to catch up. And we can just put it in their face. As long as anytime they try to have a conversation with us, we just put it in their face. Listen, come back to us when you hit this many Champions Leagues. And this is what they hate, because he goes not an elite team. What Blackburn or Leicester have won their Champions League? He can't talk.
It doesn't make any sense, bro. Because if you look at them, they haven't even got a European heritage. Why is he talking about 3 league titles are the only thing like you're actually proud about? 3 league titles. It doesn't. I don't get it. I just don't.
And he does that. Look, he poo-pooed on his own team, by saying 3 Premier Leagues. So he discounts the 10 leagues that they've won, just so he can reduce Liverpool to 1 Premier League.
But like these are the kind of arguments you get from kids. You know what I mean? And this guy looks like a grown man, like in his like late 20s to 30s or something like that. And he's talking like he's like, I honestly don't get it. And I mean, like Like our heritage doesn't exist. He's saying we don't sit in the table as Arsenal, but you don't even sit in the table as like Chelsea now, like and teams like
Yeah.
that who won the Champions League. You know what I mean? So
And if City win the Champions League this season, then
oh, doesn't it- I mean that's even worse. That's even worse. You know what I mean?
exactly,
These are the people that you're supposed to be arguing with, not us, man. I wanna
exactly.
listen. I don't know if you heard the press conference. You wanna listen to it with me and
Yeah, yeah,
discuss what he's saying?
yeah. Sure.
All right, brother.
Or not, you have any further indication whether he'll be back before the end of the season?
I was still thinking that. Didn't I say last week he will not be back this week as well? I thought I said that, but I remember. I've commented a lot of times that you don't listen.
Hang on. Let's see what is that.
I was still that.
Yeah.
Let's see who was talking about. Sorry, I didn't like.
Yeah.
Or not, you have any further indication whether he'll be back before the end of the season?
I was still thinking that. Didn't I say last week he will not be back this week as well? I thought I said that, but I remember. I've commented a lot of times that you don't listen. So no, this week, no. I hope that at the end of the week he's closer, but so far I was on in team training, so that's it.
After over a year between Liverpool goals, Diogo Jota's now got 4 in his last 2. What's really clicked for him, and can you kind of sum up the difference he makes to your side when he's fully fit and firing, not just from a goals perspective either?
Nothing really. Just got back to speed. Up to speed. Yes, he was an exceptional player since Diogo joined us. He did exceptional stuff for us, and super smart player. Can play really different positions. Has a few super interesting skills for an offensive player. He's not the tallest, but an extreme threat in the air. Timing is top. Can finish with both feet, which is extremely helpful. Has the speed. That's it. But Diogo was now this year obviously a really bad injury, or this season a really bad injury. Before that, little things here and there. So that kept him a little bit back. Nothing else. When if Diogo can stay fit, he's really an outstanding player because he knows how football goes. So he is one of these players who could discuss probably a whole day about things in football, because he is thinking a lot himself, and makes it really simple to work with him. His only problem was that he got the injury this year. Otherwise, he would have not only 4 goals. But when you are that long injured, then you need rhythm. You need to get back, and that's the most difficult thing, because it's a ongoing season, and nobody waits for you pretty much. And for that reason, it's now really cool that he could score these goals, and for us, all of them were obviously super important.
And as a group, what have you shown by
What do you think of Jota? 1 second, mate. Hi, Fozzy. Sorry, this is the live stream last night. Listen, bro, you contribute on all of our channels, bro. You're a top bloke. You don't have to apologize to any of us, man. If people turn up, they turn up. If they don't, they don't. That's part of life, man. It's all good, bro. It's all good. I appreciate it for saying that, though, man. Thank you very much. What do you think of Jota? Like a lot of people were speaking about him recently, and they're saying like might as well sell him. He's become injury prone, and his performances on the pitch recently was a lot to be desired. But to me, it looks like each game as it comes, he's improving every single time. I don't want to release him. A lot of people was asking as well, what's he going to do when everybody's fit? Is he going to get in the first team, and what position is he going to play? That's the questions I want to ask you, mate.
Yeah, Jota, for me, he's a very important player, only due to the fact that he's not a person that the game phases him. Whether it's a big game, small game, he plays the same always. He's got like a robotic mindset. It's like he could miss the most easiest chance 1 minute
Yeah.
and then score a crazy chance the next. And it doesn't phase him. He doesn't get too down whenever he misses, and he's just there, and he's just constant threat. Left foot, right foot. I think I saw a stat the other day that he's got like roughly the same amount of goals with his head, right foot and left foot. So the guy is an all-round person that you must keep, like especially with like tight games. He can come on and change it a little bit. Just like the winning goal he scored against Nottingham Forest. That was like who who of our team would have just chested that needed and then left their
Exactly.
weaker foot and put it
Spot on.
bottom corner? So yeah, I would definitely keep him and try and it's not important like to think whether he starts or not, because now we know that it's a squad game. It's not a 11 game. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you'll get chances. There'll be injuries. There'll be like form. So depending on form, injuries,
Yeah.
he'll get a lot of games.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about him. I don't want to sell him, obviously. I think he's an important part of the team. I think in the coming season he's gonna have his role, especially with the likes of Mane gone and Firmino going in the summer. So we're gonna need new impactful players on the pitch, and he's gonna be that kind of player as well. A lot of people were saying about his playing time. I said if we're in every competition, everybody's going to get playing time. And the way the squad is at the moment, not everybody's fit. So they can rotate and, rest players, and then another one comes in eventually. And this is how I see our future with Liverpool from my
Yeah.
perspective, in a way. And the attacking force will be the actual players that will lead you to titles eventually. You know what I mean?
Mm.
As long as we get the right, players behind them, we'll create more chances. Because like if you look at Liverpool, we create chances through the wings, like the two fullbacks.
Yeah.
What about if we create chances from the middle? How about when we like the midfielders start scoring goals as well? Look at that
Exactly.
power we could have in the future. And I've always said it in this, especially this season. I said the only issue we having is the consistency, and hopefully it will come next season. And if we sort that midfield out, I don't think we'd be too far away from the title, Mohammed. If you know what I mean, because you just have to plug those holes. That's an issue at the moment, because our defense is getting got out too quickly nowadays. If you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
everybody's blaming the defenders for the mistakes of the goals. But if you look at previous seasons, the reason they didn't get past that defense because we had a well-oiled machine in front of them that will like protect them at all costs.
Exactly. Our style is like, I don't know why some people get hell bent on about why is our defense exposed. The reason why our defense is exposed is number one, we play like a high risk, high reward. So you'll see when we're attacking, you've only got two centre backs right at the back with
Yeah.
a playing a very high line. So yeah, if your midfield is not on point and not doing counter pressing like they're supposed to,
Yeah.
there's going to be massive gaps, and that's what happened this season. Maybe because of age, people saying,
Hmm.
and it's not maybe sometimes it's age, it's sometimes like the mental fatigue it can take on you to do the same thing again and again and again,
Yeah.
and you might be just like mentally tired from doing it. So you'll try and take little shortcuts here and there. And when you do that, that 1-2% drops, then you get exposed.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's happened to these players like Henderson and the Fabinho's in front of the defense as well. Like you said, they're too relaxed at times. Once that relaxed side happens, this is where the mistakes appear, and then the goals go in. But like you said, the mental fatigue, and not only that, looking at the players, they've been playing non-stop football for the past, was it 6 to 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
And you look at last season, how many competitions they actually entered, and almost won as well. So they give it their all last
Exactly.
season, and then people are having a go at them for this season. I've always said, don't blame the players. These are the players that actually made your club relevant. You know what I mean? They've done more than any other players in the past, including Steven Gerrard. If you look at their success, they've won every trophy possible. Although it's only one, but still they've done it. If someone gave me this, like said to me 7 years ago, Mohammed,
Mm.
um, I will give you like 5 to 6 years success, but it's gonna take you like a season and a half or something like that to rebuild that team afterwards.
Yeah.
Considering where you was before
Before,
Klopp
yeah,
came, Mohammed,
exactly.
what would you do? Would you take that?
Of course, I'll take that. Of course, I'll take that. That's the thing. Sometimes people forget, like, when this season started happening the way it happens, yeah, and then people are starting seeing like um, the most weird opinions. People saying get rid of Klopp, bring in Tuchel, bring in Ancelotti, bring in. I'm thinking, are you not forgetting like what is it? Just because of half a season, because this is what
Mm,
it's like. Half a season has gone.
yeah,
Half a season of bad football, and Liverpool haven't renewed that midfield yet, and you've already given up, or you've given up on Klopp's style, And this is probably because it's a fatigue. Nowadays we've got like me and you a little bit older, so
Mhm.
the younger guys are just used to this instant gratification. Like you've got like you got TikTok now. People don't even watch full videos anymore. It's like 30 seconds and then you
Yeah,
flick up. So they're probably tired of like seeing the same person in charge, Klopp,
yeah, yeah,
and they want something fresh and new so they can talk about. But at the end of the day, I support Klopp and I support the rebuild. And think about it as well. When we talked about the mental fatigue, think about going all the way in 4 competitions and just 2 goals away, literally, 2 goals
yeah.
away from winning all four. And
Mhm.
so the players gave it their all. And this is where I think the club let them down is when you give it your all and you're like this close, the players are usually looking at some game changers to come in and say, yeah,
Exactly.
look, we can go again. You renew their motivation. So if we got like 2 3 world class center midfielders that came in
Yeah,
alongside Nunes,
yeah,
then I think the players would have been up for it more. But therefore, like it's about, it's not like, it's not conscious, it's subconscious that
yeah.
you'll let your standards drop when you think that you can't keep pushing Man City and not
Yeah.
spending as much as them.
Yeah, yeah, no, I believe in like these players. I think they obviously they need backup, and I don't think we should get rid of a lot of them as well. Um, uh, it's like if people play football, they'll understand. If there's competition for places, the performances of a player will go up. I mean, if
Yeah.
there's no competition and you're only going to play every week, the standards is going to like either drop or stay the same level throughout the season. This is what's
Yeah.
happening to these players, and like you said, like they need help. They need help. They needed help for a while, and in the neglect from the ownership. I know I always put it on Twitter, and the neglect of the ownership is what angers me more than anything, Mohammed. And if we're a big club, we've got to act like a big club. Don't act like
Exactly.
like these mediocre clubs and then expect success to follow because of a manager like Klopp that can turn water to flowers. I don't want to say the other words, but turn
Yeah.
water to flowers and things like that. But that can last you for so long in anything in life as well. Like
Mm.
if you keep taking risks, it will only last you for so long. But you have to like back away from that sometimes and rebuild the team. Give that manager who got you all that money, all those trophies, what he deserves, and then let us do what we're supposed to do. I've always said that as well, Mohammed.
Mm.
If you under this regime and they only do sell to buy and potentials and all that stuff, then have a plan in place. You know what I mean? If you buy marquee signings or whatever the top players, have youngsters that's similar to them. If you, there's always similar players out there. That's what we used
Mhm.
to do in the 70s and 80s. We used to
Yeah.
buy players and then we get younger ones, stick them in the reserves, let them play in the first team now and again, just to get used to the actual how we play on the pitch. And then
Mhm.
once those players get older, like 29, 30, they still have a resale value. Get rid of them. Youngsters come through, and then they take their place because they're similar. They've been like learning from that player all that time. That's
Mhm.
what they need to do. Do you agree with
Exactly.
that? Because I don't see this owners ever going to spend like 200 million, 300 million on players.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Like, we're a bit that's what I'm saying. We're a bit like halfway house of madness. And when you're indecisive in the market, you're not
Yeah,
going for the big guys, nor are you going for project players,
yeah.
then you get left behind. So I remember seeing before Caicedo joined Brighton, he was worth 4 million.
Hmm.
I think McAllister was about 10 million. So these players are out there. You can get cheap players, especially now. England or Britain is out of the EU. It's
Yeah.
easier to go and get South American players now. You can go dive into that market, as Brighton have shown that they've actually successfully done. Why not as well set up like a feeder club? Why can't we set up a feeder club from Brazil or from South America or Portugal?
Aren't we intertwined with AC Milan, Redbird, right?
Right, yeah, Redbird is, but AC Milan's a big team. It's not like we
Mm-hmm.
can farm out, like
Because
buy
Italian
young
football
players.
ain't as like luxurious as it used to be. It used to be the best league in the world when I was growing up as a kid in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Channel 4.
nowadays, like because of the corruption and all that stuff, it's messing up a lot of things over there. Maybe if we could like just speak to the Redbird people. Like, let's loan them some players and let them, like Harvey Elliott or something like. I know, like we discussed it yesterday,
Yeah,
but he maybe mentally will help him out if he goes to a big team like that, like you said,
yeah.
and make him even to a better player than he is right now. Because since he's come off the team has done better. I gotta be real, and that's sad for him. Yeah, like I said, like Redbird, someone like that, or like you said, maybe somewhere else in Europe. There's a lot of teams out there that I think do it for Man City and they do it for other teams as well. So
Man City, I think, has got like about 4 or 5 teams, like
wow.
scattered all around the world. They got one in America, they got one in China, they got one in South America.
Mhm,
So they can literally, move players about. I know Chelsea used to,
mhm,
and it came out recently that they were basically funding Vitus Arnhem
yeah,
and using their players or their young players that they used to collect
yeah.
and use them to go get experience there. I think even Mason Mount was out there at one point. So yeah, I
I
think we need
remember.
to
Yeah.
move with the times and either pick a strategy and stick to it.
Hmm.
Either you go for the big guns, or if you don't want to do that, then make sure you get ahead of the curve like we was in the beginning of Klopp's tenure.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go back to the press conference. And are you alright with the press conference? Just
Yeah,
listening to
yeah,
it.
yeah. I love it actually. I love
Yeah.
when we break down.
Oh, brother, no worries.
Or at least getting back into the picture for European qualification, because a win moves you above Spurs now, and it just feels like an opportunity again against West Ham to push the door to European qualification, open that bit more.
Yeah, but you could say the same about West Ham. They found their feedback as well, so it's like, let's see who can solve that better. Yeah, I'm not sure we showed already whatever, but we like what you mean probably with the question. We have to still prove ourselves. So that's it. We cannot talk about consistency when you win 2 games, especially when you win the second game like the last one. I liked a lot in the game, but obviously defending their throw-ins was not perfect, to say the least. And that can happen, obviously, because we were prepared for it as good as we could, but nobody can be really prepared for these kind of things because it's completely different in training situations and all those kind of things. No, we have to make the next step. That's it. We have to keep going. I think there are a lot of things to like in the last 2 games, 2.5 games, and that's what we have to continue. We need to make sure that it's not that difficult for people to watch us, that they like it again, and that they think, okay, that's it. That's a good way to start a football game. It's a good way to play a football game and to finish a football game, and that's exactly what we want to do. That we changed a couple of things and that we put a finger in again in with more. Give them more importance. I think that's clear. The way we defend altogether must be different to a lot of games we played this season, and it will stay a subject until I leave here, whenever that will be, and that must be 100% clear. And I think that I like the most. That yes, we struggled with set pieces. That's true. In this last game, it's throw-ins at least, but in all other games we were super stable, and that's really important. And so the next game will be slightly different. Yes, West Ham is a top set piece team as well. Against Bournemouth, I think 2 goals came from a set piece, 2 came from a counter attack, from crosses exactly. So that's
What do you think of those crosses, like in the box, with the team? We seem to struggle. We got big like presence at the back, but for some reason, like we can't defend any ball in the air. It's like they're getting a nosebleed. I don't understand with our players. That was their favorite thing in the past. I remember when Virgil van Dijk used to say, "I love clean sheets. I'll do it by any means necessary." What happened to that? Like, it's that every ball in the air now is a threat. It's an actual
Yeah,
threat.
yeah. I don't know. With Van Dijk, he's not being the same Van Dijk this season, and he's maybe shown his human side. But yeah, you're right. With corners, defending corners now, I'm worried. As before, I used to just be like, yeah,
Yeah.
can we get a counter out of this? That's what I was thinking. Now it's like the throw-ins from the last game, and they were struggling to deal with, the physicality of the players in there, and we're just not reading the drop of the ball for some reason, and sometimes it can happen. But yeah, hopefully we can try and get back to the way it was, where Van Dijk would just clear all of those out of the window.
Yeah, I think the injury, I think, has done a lot of damage to him, unfortunately, mate. These ligament injuries, like I've had a few knee injuries when I used to play as well. Once you have knee injuries, you're not the same player anymore. And he had a severe one. You know what I mean? The guy intentionally, in my opinion, I know a lot of people might say I'm over jumping the gun here, but I think intentionally he done him in, mate. Like you can't jump like that towards a player, bro, and say you don't
100%.
mean it. You know what I mean? It's pathetic, man.
100%. I remember seeing it and I was thinking that challenge does not make sense. Like, especially as a goalkeeper.
Hmm.
A goalkeeper would usually just spread out and make himself big.
Yeah,
And if he's gonna jump, he'll be jumping vertically. He's not gonna
exactly.
be jumping forward. Jumping forward showed me that he's there just to, if I miss the ball, I'm gonna try and
I'm
hurt the
gonna get
guy.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they didn't even look back at it. Even after the game, they didn't look back and try to like say we've got to do something about it as well. It was all fishy in my opinion. I think Arsenal fans are experiencing it now. A lot of them have said to me, like the similar things that happened to you guys, the decisions and all that stuff is happening to us as well. I said, listen, man, money talks, man, money talks.
Thanks.
Redbird says, hi guys, just joined what's been said. We're just discussing obviously the game against West Ham and we're listening to the press conference. And there's more to come, guys, so don't go anywhere, please, yeah. Get as much as people in here as you can as well. Big up Statman Stubbs, Fozzy, big up Fozzy, mate, big up chat. Statman, as I always say, you're always welcome on this channel. Just let me know if you want to come on at any time. And plus, people, please go and subscribe to him. He's an amazing guy. I'm telling you right now, man. I watched his channel a couple of times recently, and I can't stop laughing. Honestly, it's that funny in that channel. So I advise you guys to go and check it over there as well. Redbird says, Fozzy, I'm gonna have to change my name. The USA Redbird is giving me a bad name. No problem, bro. No problem. Yeah. So let's get back to the press conference, and then we could discuss further how he's talking about the upcoming game.
What we have to be prepared for again, but the ball will be on the ground as well from time to time, and that's where we have to make sure that we can control the game as difficult as it will be.
You've alluded to that you're sort of getting back on track. West Ham getting back on track as well, moving away from the bottom in the European semi-finals as well, despite you and David Moyes being under scrutiny, shall we say, from certain quarters. How important then was that support that you got and that David got when it mattered from the top for you both to be in that position now?
Usually I don't look that much what in other clubs happens, but I think not only that, I think there were for sure discussions, like maybe we're here when things don't go well, about sacking the manager, stuff like this. But this specific one was really in it, because if West Ham would have sacked David Moyes, I would have been the oldest manager in the Premier League, and I wanted to avoid that. Really, somebody told me that before the season. I'm the second oldest. Now, who's the oldest? David Moyes. So since then, I fingers crossed for West Ham. Yes. David has to stay. But I'm really happy. And David is a super good. I know him for now for 6.5, 7 years. He's a top colleague and he's doing an incredible job. And things like this can happen. But I think they have a good team and they show now the quality again. And when you see the lineup from the last game, if they can go through games without big injuries, to a season without big injuries, then all of a sudden they are able to play really good stuff, like they did last season and the season before. So yeah, super dangerous and difficult game for us, definitely. So we have to be absolutely on top. We have to make what is said, and we have to make the next step, keeping at least the standards of the last two games defensively, and then going from there. Being uncomfortable to play against, that must be our target. It's an away game, but thank God we won at least one away game recently, which is good. Not bothered at all about the result, just that we won it, and that's what we have to try again.
And in terms of, you mentioned about them, touchwood, avoiding any injuries for their rest of the season as well. You've managed to name the same starting line for the last 3 in a row now, which you've not managed to do since the start of 2020. So how important has that been in terms of stability and momentum and everything that will...
Has been important, yes, absolutely good, but we would have had the options as well to start differently, so that's good as well, because sometimes you start the same lineup just because you don't have alternatives. This time it was different, so it was clear that in the few sessions we had, and thank God we had really quite a few sessions, the players had to prove themselves that they want to start again, and all the others had to show me that they want to start as well. So these kind of things, that was the mood we had in training, and that helped as well. So having 11 players all the time is good, but there's a point where it could be too intense. But for these 3 games it worked out, and I'm happy with that.
Thank you.
What do you think of the players that's coming back at the moment from injuries and all that stuff? Is our squad getting like stronger, and are they influencing the actual performances on the pitch? Since what we've been undefeated for a while, haven't we? So has it changed a lot? You know, like the likes of Diaz and Thiago and all these the top players and Jota coming back. Has it improved the team even further than what we was before?
Yeah, 100%. As you said earlier, you said that having good players around increases the competition and then increases the output of players. So them coming back has been nothing but good for Liverpool. Klopp then's got options to tinker, to change games if it's not going right. And it's shown us a bit of harmony, like when against Arsenal in the second half when Thiago came on. It's great. It's like he's pushing the team. Camping outside Arsenal's box, literally, and then he kept on controlling that. It's nothing but good. We've been unfortunate. Like every time we've had like big injuries and long-term injuries, we haven't done as good. But last season, as you saw, we didn't have much injuries, and then what happened is that we went for all 4 trophies. And so,
exactly,
if we can get the rubber to green and get not many injuries next season, and we get the right players in, we can definitely kick on.
100%. Riro Massa says the throw-ins from last game was deadly. Yeah, we're struggling with throw-ins, man. It's like the old days again for some reason. Jamie Phillips, big up, mate, big up. You know Jamie Phillips. He's a top bloke, man. Please go and subscribe to him, everyone. You know what I mean? He's on the way to 4,000. And if anyone helps Liverpool fans, it's this man. So he deserves everything he's getting, as well as Statman Stubbs as well. Yeah, mate, no problem. I'll give you a DM, mate. No problem, bro. Anytime, mate. Redbird says I posted you in our group as usual. Hopefully the peeps will catch the replay if they can't join. It's no problem. The chat. It's no problem, bro. We are Liverpool. We are family. You never walk alone. Listen, no problem, man. You guys do a lot for me and everybody else on these platforms, and yeah, just it takes a lot out of us to do this. But we wouldn't do it any other way, you know what I mean? We're a family. We're always going to be a family, man. 100% right. And, Mr. John Conway subscribed to you as well. And there you go, mate. A lot of people, coming through and, helping us out as well, bro.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Link, chat. Thank you very much, brother. Let's get back to the actual... press conference. We're near the end anyway.
Yeah, you call David a top colleague, you don't maybe. But what is it you like about him then the most?
He always finds a way.
Compare him to the other Premier League managers.
First and foremost, he's a really nice guy. So I met a couple of times with a bit after the game or stuff like this at any kind of coaches meetings. He's a really good person as far as I know, and I like that. And he always finds a way. It makes a top manager. So he always finds a way to get a team going. It might not have worked out years ago once at Man United, but that was the most difficult moment to join Man United in the history of football. Coming after Sir Alex Ferguson. Congratulations. Easy job. So apart from that, David stands for consistency. Long spells at Everton, obviously years ago, and now West Ham. Made West Ham his club even when he was out for a while. But it's clear. It's always difficult to play them. Always difficult to play. And how I said, he always finds a way to win football games, and that I respect that a lot.
Jürgen, you've already spoken a little bit about Diogo Jota and how good it is to have him back, but how pleased are you with the overall form and touch of all your forward players? I think
With West Ham, bro, they've been on a good run lately. I don't know if you noticed that. I think their last defeat was against Newcastle. So I think they drew a few, and they've climbed up that table again. I've always thought like West Ham's a good team. You know, what I mean, I don't underestimate them in any way. I think even the manager, I think people need to calm down. Like sometimes, the grass is not always green the other side when you're trying to like say it to a manager, get out, because you're gonna get a probably less talented one, and then your team is gonna be not the same as it is now. So if you look at West Ham, can you see that probably, or shall I make it bigger
Yeah,
slightly?
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, let's make it better. Yeah. So the last defeat was against Newcastle, who are beating everyone, and as we saw against Tottenham the other day.
Yeah.
Man, I wanted Tottenham to get a draw or at least a win, because I know Tottenham will lose games, and we got them
Never,
as well.
never trust Tottenham. That's my philosophy.
I never understand why they're in the conversation of anything, bro. I know I discussed that in the group. It's weird. I think like, what have Tottenham won? I'm 44, and like since I was a baby, I've never seen them win anything. They had great players. I remember the season they had Chris Waddles, Paul Gascoigne, Gary Lineker, Gary Mabbott, Neil Ruddock, who used to play for Liverpool. They used to have great players along the way, but they never won those titles. You know what I mean? And they're always in these spaces like chatting rubbish, absolute rubbish, man. And yeah, and then as you can see, West Ham they beat Fulham, and not many people beat Fulham, as you know, especially
Yeah.
away in their ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, since that game, look, draw against Genk, 1-1, 2-2 against Arsenal, 4-1 against Genk, and then 4-0 against Bournemouth. And we went to Bournemouth and we lost at Bournemouth. Don't forget that as
Yeah, yeah,
well.
exactly.
So it ain't gonna be an easy game facing them.
A
What do you
hundred.
think? Like, do you think they've turned the corner finally?
I think so. I think so. Now they've got a bit of momentum. They're excited to finish the season
Uh-huh.
strongly. I think what's giving them energy is those Thursday nights playing in the Europa Conference, and
Yeah.
they've got a real chance to win it. So that's just giving them like a big boost. So maybe they can just maybe keep an eye on that and lose a bit of concentration on the league.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're safe now. I think they're safe from the drop. I think they'll get enough points to survive.
Yeah.
And if they don't survive, then we can go shopping there,
What do you
right?
think of Declan Rice, mate? Do you want him? I like
Right.
Bowen. I like that Bowen guy actually. Is it
Yeah,
Bowen?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would love Bowen actually. Bowen will be
To
like
back up for Salah. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
100%. He's got the right amount of pace, the right amount of shooting ability, and he's just always there, nuisance. Like we need those players. It's like it reminds me a bit like of Jota.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look, the thing with Jota at the moment, like his game is coming back together. I want him to be direct. Remember when he was running at people when he first came
yeah,
and making
yeah,
it awkward for people?
yeah,
Defenders were
yeah,
dropping all over the place. He needs to
yeah,
get back to that Jota, man, because
yeah,
that's what we need the most. Because if you look at our team, apart from Diaz, there's not a lot of like people that can get past people with ease. I mean,
yeah.
Salah does it sometimes, but Salah does it with his shin pads. You know what I mean, along the way.
Bubbles and stuff.
Yeah. So we don't want to see, we don't want to keep seeing that every single time.
Yeah,
Like, but it's
yeah,
another option, because if we have more options, people having a go at teams, it opens up the spaces for the other players to score goals as well. You know what I mean? Because the danger will be on that side and the focus will be on that side instead of always on Salah or someone like that. That's always getting that focus. Yeah. So
100%
let's
agree.
go back to this and see what he's saying, brother.
I think the last 20 Premier League goals have been scored by your forward players. How encouraging is that for the remainder?
Good. Again, it's important for us. It's important for us. Yes, we have been. The boys are there not only for scoring, but we need them for defending. That was a bit of a problem in moments this season that we've lost that focus. But that's for me, to be honest, the first job for the offensive players as well, because that gives you stability. If you defend really as a unit, and we don't need any kind of players waiting in positions for a counter-attack or for whatever. We need players to defend collectively, and in that moment when we get the ball, then we have the speed and we have the technique to cause problems for other teams. So that's how it is. But yes, it's good. And now, and Ducho was not obviously, Luis Diaz was not obviously really involved in that, scoring at least, and so important to have them all back, because now we had for 1 week we had 6 offensive players, and then Bobby was out, so now we have 5 again, but that's good, and I hope we can keep them fit until the end of the season, and then they will all play their role and are all allowed and invited to score, so keep scoring, like our midfielders, because all the goals, most of the goals probably are set up by other players. If it was, I don't know, Fab, Trent, Robbo, Hendo, whoever set it up, these situations are obviously as important as the others. So no, if these boys are fit, we have real quality there in that area of the pitch. But yeah, for a long time this year, some of them were not fit, and that caused us some problems.
Yeah.
From Carl, we got PA.
Jürgen, I just wanted to ask, is the reports why Conor Bradley will be part of the pre-season squad? Can you tell us anything about your plans for him?
My plans for him? Yeah, we are in constant contact. We have Pep Linders installed a group with our on-loan players, and obviously a WhatsApp group, and obviously we are watching really closely what he's doing, and it's great. Obviously, not sure if he will become player of the season there, but for sure he's a contender for that, which is absolutely great. We knew what we have in our hands when he was here, but for young boys, there must be an opportunity to make the next step with playing, and I think.
What do you think about like our youth system, bro? Like compared to the likes of City, Chelsea, which is the two top ones, like, in my opinion, and then you got Man United after that, Tottenham and Arsenal, and us and below that. I'm not too impressed with our youth system, in my opinion. I don't know what you think, Mohammed.
Yeah, like with City and Tottenham. I mean, sorry, City and Chelsea. What they do is like hardcore, and I'm involved with like a lot of grassroots football. And what Man City and Chelsea do is a lot of hardcore scouting, and they take on a lot of players from even as far away. So Manchester City is in Manchester, they'll come London quite frequently and pick off players, as you saw, like with one of the biggest ones were Sancho, where they came in for him from Watford. But they do that, and they offer really good packages. I mean, you're not allowed to pay players at that age. However, they circumvent that and stuff, like by hiring the parents, say as a scout.
Yeah. Well, I think Jude Bellingham. We hear that from Jude Bellingham, don't we? Yeah,
Exactly. So, what Liverpool don't do, I never hear, like in the circles I'm involved in, Liverpool scouting anyone here in London.
They only do it in the city and Wales and Scotland, I think, something like that. Just around that side, because it's that kind of city. Ireland, Scotland, Wales. I mean, these are the type of players they go for, because the city is like that. That's the majority of the city. You know what I mean? And I think they need to start going to London and places like that as well. If you look at our youth system, the issue I'm having with it is they're not physical specimens, are they? They're all like tiny kids. Like it's like they don't feed them. You know what I mean? It's like being in my country. You know. You know what I mean?
It's true.
It's
true.
weird. I think, like, and I look at the Chelsea players when they come on, they're all massive, muscular, and huge, like men. That's what we've got to work on, in my opinion, in the coming years. Because like you said, they need to start going to London. They need to even go abroad. Look at Germany. Like, they're coming over here stealing players from here, man.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
If we do things like that, I think we'll be in a better place. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm all for Scarsers joining the team and all that stuff. This romantic. I agree with it, but let's mix it up. Let's make the team better instead of being selfish in a sense of like trying to get kids in the team that's not gonna make it. If you know what I mean, into the first team, and eventually gonna go somewhere else, or they're not gonna make it in football. If we mix it up, I think those kids from that city will improve, because they're gonna have people around them with better quality, and then maybe they will improve their game along the way as well. Just looking at things like that, like when we was kids, Mohammed, when you see great players, what did we used to do? We tried to do them, innit?
Copy them, exactly. Yeah,
that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do, man.
100%.
This is H from our group chat. He says, "How are we, gents?" Yes. Well, welcome to the channel, bro. He says, I say this Twitter all the time. I say this on Twitter all the time. Declan Rice is a crab, absolutely penny all round. Technically, especially, would rather sign Bowen. Yeah. So, what do you think about that?
I disagree with that. I can understand what is it like. He's not the best technically with he's back to goal. However, what I love about Rice is his reading of the game in defensive transitions.
Yeah.
He can literally read it, follow the guy. He's got enough pace, enough power to catch and cover ground.
Yeah.
And so if we can get someone like him just to sit in front of the back four, I'm happy with that. And we don't need them to all be. He's got a decent shot on him. We don't need them all to be like glamorous and Thiago like. But as long as they excel in their specific, well, let's just say he covers a lot more ground than Fabinho can.
Yeah. I agree with Rice as well. Like I watched Rice since he was a kid, innit? Coming through at West Ham, he started off as a centre back. He could play like not just one position; he could play other positions as well. That's like a typical Klopp player if you think about it. I mean, Klopp likes players that can play different positions. If you look at him at Mainz, Dortmund, and Liverpool, majority of these players can play multiple positions. Hence why, like, we've got the likes of Henderson, Milner, Jota, Gakpo, now Nunes plays in the left. You know what I mean? So this is the type of players you need in your team in case of a serious injuries to players. So they will be like, there's always someone covering over there when we're challenging for titles. That's not similar attributes, but close to it or something along those lines. Redbird says, "Cheers, John. Just sub to him. He's mean to you." So you got another subscriber there, bro. His channel, is Nur Beats, isn't it? That's the channel, right? Nur Beats.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
So please go down there and subscribe to him, man. He's got great contents, and you know Gris Khan, innit? You go on his one as well.
Yeah. I go on Gris Khan's channel a lot. I contribute there.
No worries, bro. So let's get back to Mr. Klopp near the end and see what he's saying.
That was now a typical win-win situation. It was good for us, good for him, good for the club, and that's I like that a lot. Our plans are bring him back and go in the preseason and then enjoy the steps he made, and then we will decide together how we will what we will be doing from that moment on. But the plans are at the moment bring him back and keep him. But we will see that.
You mentioned how much he's sort of benefited from time in Bolton. How much has he also benefited from international football as well?
I think that's a confidence boost when you are invited and when you are playing for your country. Of course, that's great, but it's not that often. It happens, but it's not that often. It's more like, I think it gives you a better feeling about yourself. If you get picked for your country, I never had that situation, so I cannot exactly tell how it feels. But I'm pretty sure it's very special, and so it's a super positive moment for him. So everybody speaks positively about him. I think 1.5 years ago, only a few football nerds would have known about him, and now he's really everybody knows him, and that's cool, and that's the first step. That's the first step, and he's our boy, which I like a lot. Super mentality, which is extremely helpful, and all the rest will come, and we are all pretty sure about that. So that's it. Connor will be our player, but how it is in that age group, we have to see. If it makes more sense for him going after preseason again on loan or not, we will decide that then and not now.
Jürgen, how's Naby doing? I've not seen him for a while now. He's back in light training. He's another player out of contract at the end of the season. Could he be back before that, or has he played his last game for the club?
If everything goes well, I think he could be in partial training today. So that's it. That's what I heard yesterday. He was not in team training yet, but he could do warming up. If he do rondos, he could do that, and then he has again to do his own program. So means yes, much closer, much closer.
What do you think of Naby, bro? Like, was it 54 million we bought him for? Along those lines, that's not good enough, mate. Like for a return. That's not good enough, man. What a waste! What a waste. We thought we had a bargain, you know what I mean? Better than, what was it, Kante and players like that. That's what we were saying when he first came. And, like, in Germany, they had a dream, didn't they, with Thiago and him. I think they were the best midfielders in Germany at the time.
Exactly.
Them two playing together. We got both of them in the same club, and we can't even get them to play together.
It's such a missed opportunity with Naby. Like, I was a big fan and defended him a lot. When people used to get on him. However, we can't skate around the issue of his injury proneness, if I could say. And it's it's sad because what could have been would have been really good, especially with his, ability to uh, win back the ball
Yeah.
and start, attacks. But unfortunately, he can't be on the pitch as much, so you can't. And then when he comes back from injury, he doesn't have the rhythm, so it takes him a while to get the rhythm. And then when he does get the rhythm, then he's injured again.
And he can do it again.
So it's a sad story. Sometimes you get these kind of players with like a high ceiling. However, maybe it'll do him good just to go to a team that's not
You,
as physical as a Liverpool team.
you know what it is, bro? Like I've always said that been watching the Premier League since day one, and the Premier League is just too fast for some players. You know what I mean, it's no matter how good you are, it's just not for you. Look at
Mm,
Shevchenko. Shevchenko was blowing people out of the water in Italy. Came
yeah,
to Chelsea, not the same player.
yeah,
You could say was it Kesman from the Dutch team for was it PSV?
yeah,
He came to Chelsea, didn't do nothing. It shows even great players can actually fail in other countries as long if the league doesn't suit them.
yeah.
It's just too fast this league. Morientes came to us. Was he the same player at Real Madrid?
No,
There you go, bro. So
yeah. Sometimes you just have to accept it, especially him, like someone who's like very, very injury prone,
fragile.
fragile. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like it's sad to see like a talent like that wasted.
Mm.
However, hopefully he still can, resurrect some sort of a career if he goes to the right team, right league. Maybe La Liga would suit him, like
Yeah.
a proper
Slow
technical
league.
league. Yeah.
Yeah. Hal says he's talking about Rice. Personally, don't see that, but that's me. That's just me. He says like good physically, but not press resistance at all, and often leaves huge spaces in front of the defense. Suited to 3-2-2-2, so 2-2-3, more than 4-3-3. Though I'll say that. With Rice, like we don't know what he's gonna do under Klopp. You know what I mean? Klopp can
Mm,
find any formation that's suited to the players. If you look at majority of the players that play for Liverpool, guys, they left Liverpool. They play in different formations. They're not the same players. I mean,
mm,
where are they now? Like majority of them.
yeah, exactly.
And I said it the other day, Mohammed. If
Yeah.
you look at Klopp's managerial career, I'm basing it on Liverpool and Dortmund because that's the two biggest team he coached. Not more than three players have survived outside his coaching methods. Like you could say Lewandowski, you could
Hmm.
say Gundogan and
Hmm.
Hummel, Goetze, Aubameyang. All these players didn't like fulfill the actual, potential that they had in the past. If you know what I mean, brother. And I've always said it's the manager. It's nothing to do with the players. The manager actually like finds your formation that's suited to your play, and then
Mm,
he brings you in, and then you fill that gap to the best of your ability, and that's how it works.
exactly.
When these players go to different teams, well, then, bro, like, where's Mane? Where's Wijnaldum? Where's Coutinho? You know what I mean? Like, we've
Yeah.
got endless names, bro. Goetze. You know what I mean? Shahin, when he came over here, he wasn't even all that. Remember
Yeah. Yeah.
him?
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean,
Yes.
and then
You're
was it
right.
Kagawa went to Man United, got sold straight away after, and he said like they ruined our player. You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean? So
You're
there's
right.
so many players, man. And I've always said that you need to be careful what you wish for, because you got a top manager here who makes ordinary players into world beaters as a
Mm,
team, not
yes.
as an individual,
Yes.
as a team, and they do wonders, man.
Exactly.
Like we're trying to like rebuild. It might take us time, but we will get there, man. We'll 100%. We will get there. I've got no
100%.
doubt about it.
100%.
James.
Yeah, where are you up to in terms of finding a new sporting director? Are you heavily involved in those discussions?
In the discussions, there's no really discussions, there are talks. There's not, and I am not involved in the talks, but in maybe the talks around, yes. But I'm not the person in the club who can give real answer about where it stands.
You know, with this, a lot of people saying, I keep saying like, a lot of people say Klopp is in charge of everything. Remind me if I'm wrong here, Mohammed.
Mm,
Wasn't Klopp the person that said not so long ago, I don't want to like overexert myself. I don't want to make myself tired because I'm an emotionally involved manager. So I
mm,
do need help around me to, make me rest more. That's the kind of managing into the team, which makes him tired at the same time. That's why he doesn't last long in clubs. So he's trying to give Pep Lindis a coaching role with more responsibilities and see if he could like take the reins while Klopp can like have a rest in between, so he can have a longevity as a manager in Liverpool. You know what I mean? So while I don't understand when people are saying he wants to be in charge of everything. But
No,
the type of manager he is, he can't be that. It's impossible.
yeah, exactly. I remember listening to an interview where he said, "Listen, he goes, I've got expertise, but I don't have expertise in everything." Like, so he said, so I like to get the people that are experts around me, and we discuss, and that's what it is. Maybe what's happening is because Michael Edwards left,
Yeah,
and the guy that took over, I forgot his name, he's leaving, so they're thinking Klopp has dismissed their input, so that's why they're leaving, and that's like that's very hard to ascertain to be true, because the guy himself has said that he loves working with experts in the field.
exactly.
Exactly. So and why Liverpool looking to hire a sporting director then if he's happy to take on that responsibility?
Exactly, bro.
So
I don't get it. When people say that things like that to me, I said he can't. He just for a manager like Klopp who does like everything like like high pace and all that stuff. Even his sideline demeanor. He can't do everything on his own. It's impossible. Fergie is more relaxed and laid back. That's the difference between them two. Fergie can just sit there and let other people be in charge of the transfers and all that stuff. And because he's more laid back, because he lets other people work for him.
yeah,
But Klopp, he can't be in charge of a lot of stuff, man. It's impossible. With his
100%.
kind of way, it's completely impossible.
100%.
Yeah, let's get back to that. Yeah.
It's in the hands of other people. But what I heard, it's all going the right direction.
Right. And obviously, it's a structure you've been used to working with. Is it one you expect to keep working with going forward after Julian's left?
Yeah. Yeah. What do you mean? With the sporting director?
Yeah.
How many clubs are there out there without a sporting director now? You mean the old version where the manager is doing everything? But how many clubs do we have anymore? It would be really interesting. Is there any club without a sporting director? Or a guy in the role of a sporting director? Going up from City, Arsenal, no. United, sporting director?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know, that speaks for you, by you. Yeah, they have one.
Yeah, strong man.
Yeah, great. Okay, so now we go down. Pretty much everybody has a sporting director, and that's because it makes sense. It makes sense. It's not to do with the decisions, how a manager is involved in decision making. That's not a thing, but the process. If a manager has to do that, I don't know how the guys did that in the past. I have no clue. Around and talking to all the agents and all these kind of things, and constantly talking about a pound here and a pound there. You need people for that. There's no chance, and that's why. Yes, I'm happy with the structure, but and the person will be, but the guy we get or the lady we get will be absolutely right. But nothing to say in the moment.
Last one for the embargo.
Just finally, have you got any injury news or any knocks to update on before?
Yeah, we have to see. We have to be used the full time until tomorrow. Well, we leave today, so the decision we have to make today. So Ivo, we need to see how it's with him. But in the moment, I'm rather positive, but that doesn't mean a lot. From possible starters, I think that's it.
Wow.
Move on to the embargo.
Yeah, that's it, man.
That's it.
Happy with that. I don't know what's wrong with Ibu. I don't know how he's getting injured, like not being in training. It doesn't even make any sense. But Redbird says Trent don't get any positive vibes from international football. That's just as long as Southgate is in charge, just get out of there. Get out quick, I say, man. You know what I mean? Because you're never gonna get the game time unless he plays midfield. for the future. What do you think of Trent anyway? Do you want him to play where he's playing? Because I said like in the home games he should go revert to his normal position, and the away games when it's tough and we can't open teams, he could play in that midfield role because the teams have to come on you, because of the home team. They can't just sit back and accept Liverpool dominating the game.
Yeah. No. With his role, like I said it, like when the midfield was just getting bypassed in the beginning of the season, in the middle of the season, I was like, listen, if we can get Trent, inverting, then we can maybe have an extra body centrally to help Fabinho cover ground, and essentially that's what Trent has been doing. Like he's better at defending when it's when there's people around him, so people are just distracted, not isolating him one-on-one. So I liked him moving in, and yes, I agree with you, like a lot, like we can't play it all the time, mainly because we don't have those press resistant midfielders at the moment. The players that he can rely on, like, will keep the ball. So or maybe not used to him being there, you know what I mean? So if we can keep the ball there and have like rotations like Man City do, then we can start dominating teams home and away. However, so it's up to Klopp. I would tinker about if you see the team is just going down the flanks constantly, just put him back there. And if not, then and they've flooded the midfield, then he can definitely produce something from the middle centrally.
Exactly, man. I think until the personnel arrives, just play him in that role now and again. Next season it could be a different thing when we have that actual midfield that we need. If you know what I mean, bro.
Especially if Ibu's injured, then revert him back, because Ibu can cover a lot of ground. And
100%.
if it's Matip will not be able to do that.
Nah, Matip's finished, man. He's making mistakes every game he plays now, man. I've never seen Matip like that before. You know when the pace is gone, it's gone, isn't it? Like when you reach your legs, it's not connecting to your brain anymore, man.
Exactly.
I mean, John Conway says Naby is gone in the summer. 100% he's gone, bro. He ain't coming back anytime soon, man. He's done. Listen, you know what the saddest thing is, guys? He's collected medals doing nothing. That's the saddest thing. It's like us playing, like sitting on the bench at Liverpool Football Club and collecting medals, and we say we contributed, but we haven't. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Redbird says, how many millions has Naby made on his sickbed? He's laughing all the way to the bank. It's cost 54 million to buy, plus cost of healing his injuries. Wage not his fault. So not his fault, of course. Listen, I'm not blaming him. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, like I said, in life, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. It's just like Thiago joining us during the pandemic and all that stuff. If he was joining us when we was winning things, maybe Thiago would be a better player than he is now at Liverpool Football Club. I'm not discrediting the way he performs, but I'm trying to say, like, when the team's on a high and a luxury player comes with that team, we could blow everyone out of the water. I think Wayne Rooney said if Liverpool signed Thiago, game over for everyone. You know what I mean? That's how good we was, but it just didn't work out that way. We had an injury-prone season, and then we just about made it into the top three.
If we would have got legs around him, it would have been game over. But we didn't. Just bringing him in and then expecting him to.
Ain't gonna work.
Yeah, it's true.
Ain't gonna work. Okay, we've covered most of it. Let's do the tactics. Just end it.
Yeah, I'm loving that.
So I got my own one, and I've done my own one, so I could move the players and all that stuff. So this is the one I do. So what's your starting lineup, bro? What do you want to see? Like, obviously the back four and the goalkeeper, probably the same as what's there, but in front of that as well. So the back four, are you fine with it?
Yeah, I'm definitely fine with the back four.
What about in front of it?
Yeah, I will just change Jones and bring in Thiago.
Yeah.
Only because West Ham, we need someone to be controlling and dictating for us, and helping us, be a lot better press resistant, as some of the guys said earlier.
Yeah. So is this the formation you want, the players you want, yeah? Or do you want to tweak it a little bit?
Ooh, yeah, no, I'll just leave that. Let's just try and get like a more of an understanding with with Gakpo, Salah, and like I'm tempted to go with Nunes up front.
Yeah.
However, we've been doing so well results wise.
Mhm.
Why change it now? Especially with we need Gakpo to just get a lot more confident with these players and this team for the beginning of next season, so he can just go hit the ground running.
What I like about Gakpo compared to Bobby, listen, I love Bobby so much. Nobody can take that away from me. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a appreciation day for him at the end of the season as well. If you want to join us, brother,
Yeah,
I'll
100%.
get loads of people on. We just have our own moments. Like I'll give everyone 5 things like to say about him, and explain after that like what you think of him. So
Okay.
what I love about Gakpo compared to Bobby, Bobby used to be here.
Yeah.
And whenever the ball used to come to him, he used to bounce off him. Remember? And we used to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
frustrated every
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Why is he?
yeah,
Why isn't he holding on? Why isn't he holding on to the ball and make a relationship with the ball? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But with Bobby, he used to pluck those gaps. You know what I mean? Like when the team were attacking, he always used to come back and help
Yeah.
out these 3. So he turned it into a 4. So
Yeah.
once the ball is in the midfield, them are like trying to commit the players in front of them. He'll come behind them, steals the ball, and then goes forward with the ball. That's
Yeah.
what I used to love about Bobby back in the day. But it's
Yeah.
just the bouncing of the ball that
Yeah.
really used to anger me. When is he gonna control it? What day is it? Is it
Yeah.
gonna be one of those days, or you know? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, no,
but-
he started doing that like just towards like the last 2-3 years, isn't it? And
yeah.
like it's not the same. Even his passing, have you seen it? It's like
Yeah.
doesn't have enough power to get to where it was. Just like, bro, why are you always giving short passes? Like it's too short. Got a bit of power.
He could injure someone with that, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
the difference between Bobby and Gakpo is, although Gakpo has been doing it recently, like on and off, Bobby gives the ball through. Like he'll give you a ball, like from where he's here, that will lead you to the goal, and then Salah will score. Or Jota will score. That's the difference between him and Bobby. Gakpo he has to work with that. He has to work on that because if he's going to play this role and he's got pacey players like Salah, Nunes, and Jota alongside him, and Diaz, sorry. Although what I like about him, as soon as the ball comes to him, it sticks.
It sticks.
It sticks, bro. It doesn't like, it's not like Firmino, it bounces off or anything like that.
Yeah.
It sticks, and he gets the ball, turns around, and he goes with it. He runs. He's got powerful runs, like De Bruyne, Gerrard kind of thing, like in the old days.
Yeah.
He runs with the ball with power and pace. Sometimes players get yellow cards because they have to trip him over, but his
100%.
passes go straight to players. You know what I mean? He doesn't do
Yeah.
the short pass. He makes sure the pass has enough pace that
Yeah.
it goes to Salah. So once this relationship between all of these guys comes through, I think we're going to be a force next season. Honest to God, I think we're going to be brilliant, man.
100%.
And then you've
Plus
got Diaz
Gakpo.
on top of that.
Yeah, exactly. Plus Gakpo has to learn the position himself. Like he's coming off PSV
He was there.
on the left wing. Yeah, so he has to once he gets familiar and comfortable with that position. Like I'm telling you, I think we probably hit like a jackpot with him.
Yes.
Like a lot of people, doubted that signing. However, after seeing, the glimpses where he holds onto the ball, then turns someone, and then he drives into that space, and that's what we were missing with Bobby. Bobby obviously didn't have the pace to do that, and couldn't. Sometimes
he had pace, but the pace it slowly starts, then it moves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like blistering pace straight from like what Nunes does or something like that. But I think Firmino had pace, but it was taking too long for him to get to that 100 miles per hour.
yeah, exactly. With Gakpo, as you saw, like against Man United, when he gave the ball to Salah, and then he went like I think he doesn't have good acceleration, but he does have a good top speed.
Yeah.
So when he gets to the top speed, when he gets that stride running, those big strides going, it's hard for people to catch him anyway. So
power and pace,
yeah. So imagine he gives a pass and then goes into that space to that hole. Like there's a couple of goals he could have scored against Everton as well, but Salah was just there. So yeah, we've got like good things that can come, man. I'm envisaging like if we go to a 4-2-3-1 with Gakpo in the middle and Nunes up top,
Mhm.
And Gakpo, he has to learn a little bit more defensive smartness as well. How to,
Something
you
like
know,
this, yeah. Take El Capitan. Let's say put Nunes like that. Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
Double
Put
pivot. Push
Diaz
these
up left
push
wing.
these guys back here, and they'll be more like defensive
Exactly. So there you
than
go. So
staying up
then,
there.
exactly. So then now you've got like, you know, uh, someone that can hold up the play here.
Yeah.
Nunes will constantly push that back line back, and so there'll be a massive gap in between the lines,
Yeah.
and Gakpo can operate there, or even Diaz. Sometimes they can rotate between each other because Diaz is very good at holding up the play as well. Did you see that little skill he did against Nottingham Forest?
Oh man, I think he done a couple, not just
Yeah,
one.
yeah. So I was thinking, like, yeah, this guy, he's ready. He's ready to go, man. So there's a lot of options that can happen, but
Yeah.
I'm just waiting to see what type of players we do sign.
Yeah, I love Diaz, man. What people don't understand, he's won a league last season. He's actually won a league with Porto. He contributed.
Porto,
He got 14 goals. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Before he came to Liverpool, so it shows that this guy can get a lot of goals as well. He just needed a pre-season and stay fit. Unfortunately, that didn't like come over. You know, because he got injured in the beginning of the season against Arsenal. But he had a good pre-season in the summer. Now he's had a lot of rest and he needs to get that legs going again. I think he could be like an impact player now for us, and you know those small margin of games, he
Mm,
probably can do something to make us win those games as well. But like
mhm.
you said, double pivot, number 10 over here, maybe next season, maybe
Yeah,
that's the way we've got to go. You see Brighton the other day playing against Man United like that, didn't they? With McAllister and Caicedo, the two players I want at Liverpool as well.
yeah.
The thing I like about them compared to the Liverpool players that we have is they keep possession, brother. That's what
Hmm.
we miss. If you look at our players like Henderson and that, as soon as they get the ball, they're panicking. It's like someone's got a gun on them or something like that.
Yeah.
Control the ball, bro. Like
That,
turn the player. But what angers me more than anything with our players is
yeah,
if they got the ball. I don't know if you guys seen it in the chat as well.
yeah,
If say Fabinho's got the ball, is from here,
yeah,
he never turns. It's always they pass the ball where they're facing. Why don't you ever turn with the ball and go the other direction, like shock the opponents? Because what you forget is these players you're facing, they study how you guys play and they
yeah,
study you, how
yeah,
you perform on the pitch. They
yeah,
know once you go that way, you're gonna pass that way. I
yeah,
mean, so that's what we've got to change. We've got to change a lot of things like we do next season, and be more comfortable with the ball and make sure like when you got the ball the right passes are made. If you can't pass it in one direction, make sure you turn around and pass it in the other direction. Or sometimes when this guy is free, try and give him the ball, like let
mm,
him through and go and let him score. We don't even
mm,
do that. It's like we can't take risks. It's like we're afraid to do it.
yeah,
But
yeah,
Klopp is the kind of manager that will motivate you to do things like that. So just believe in yourself, man, and just do the right things when you're on the pitch. But do you see
yeah.
what I'm saying about the passes? The way when they get the
Uh,
ball, they just face one, whatever direction they face it. That's the way they
uh,
go.
100%, and they never put like that's one thing, like not like, you know, changing direction. Another thing is that they don't put disguise on their pass at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So they'll show and they'll just pass it. Like, but if you see Thiago,
Hmm.
sometimes he could be facing this way,
Yeah,
and then he'll see this guy free in it, so he knows that everyone's concentrating on here, and he'll
yeah,
give a pass to the opposite direction while facing a different
hmm,
direction.
yeah,
So there's a disguise on your pass. Yeah. So with Henderson, the only issue, Henderson, the reason why he panics, especially on the ball,
hmm,
especially when he receives the ball with his back to goal,
yeah.
is because he doesn't scan a lot. If
No,
you watch him, he doesn't scan the pitch just before you receive. The best players, I remember seeing a stat that they scan about 4 or 5 times just before they receive.
yeah.
And De
That's part of
Bruyne,
coaching, though. It's part of coaching as well. Like
yeah,
people don't
yeah,
know that it's part of coaching. Like know what you're doing before you receive the ball. You know what I mean? Know your next
100%.
pass.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And the only way you'll know your next pass is if you, because the pitch is constantly changing, people are moving. So you got to be aware of that and seeing. And Trent has a habit of this is so funny because he doesn't scan in defensive situations, so he
no,
doesn't scan to see where players are.
yeah,
But when he goes into midfield, you'll watch him because he's excited to play that ball,
that killer
ball,
ball.
the killer ball. So he's constantly looking who's available. So
Yeah.
it's a bit crazy. It's like the motivations are like it's different, isn't it?
It's different. It's different. But do you next season? Do you want to get away from the 4-3-3 like in majority of the season? Like if we could just do different formations. This is what I was thinking as well, bro. Like why don't we ever do? Like if you look at Liverpool, the issues we have is we play the formation to the players' capabilities. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What about if we do something else? Play a left-footed player on the left and play a right-footed on the right. Get some crosses in the box for the likes of Darwin Núñez, who's good in the air and he's going to be good on the floor. You know what I mean? Give them more threats. Like if the game is tight and the other team is deep line defending, do
Yeah.
something like that. Do you understand
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say, bro?
Yeah.
Like you got two left footers. If he can't cross the ball, he will. If he
Yeah.
can't cross the ball, he will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just put it. When I was younger, I used to be a winger and I used to be a number 10. So whenever I used to play on the left or right, I'll put balls here in the dangerous spots,
Yeah.
and always someone is going to be there to slot the ball into the back of the net.
Yeah.
This is what we're missing as well, because if we keep cutting, like if you keep cutting from the right hand side and the left hand side, teams can prepare for you, innit? That's why I think a lot of people was having a go at Diaz in the beginning of the season. They said
Yeah.
he keeps coming, he's always
Inside.
on the left hand side. He never goes on the outside. He's always coming in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why don't you do something on the outside and cross the ball in first time or something
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get it. I get that. I was calling for that. I remember maybe a season ago, 2 seasons ago, and then Klopp, like honestly, it's like Klopp put Salah on the left wing and put Mane on the right wing, like in the middle of a game.
Yeah.
And then after, I almost vomited in my mouth the way Salah was playing. I was like, "Hey, send him, put him back, put him back
on the right.
put him back," because the guy was like literally, he was lost. He was like, I don't know,
What am I doing here?
Yeah, sometimes you need to readjust a little bit, but he was like so out of it that I was like,
But,
yeah, no,
but,
put him back.
Mohammed, why did that happen? Because they didn't train for that. They didn't prepare for things like that. I
Exactly,
don't know. Maybe it's just me.
No, they didn't. So what coaches like Klopp would do is like, look, we got a way to prepare. We prepare, and if you execute correctly, then nothing can stop our plan A. So they usually don't go for a plan B unless it's like you're losing and it's 10 minutes to go. Then he'll start taking risks. But it's down to the players. Like for me, it's always down to the players if they make the right decisions, because we always open up teams and sometimes we just make a stupid wrong decision. Instead of passing like an easy pass for the guy to finish, someone wants to go bury it top corner and then and the chance is gone. So sometimes we just need players to just make the right decision.
Redbird says, how many ex-Liverpool players have done well when they've left us? I can't name any. I honestly can't. Can you, Mohammed?
No,
Takumi
not under
Minamino
Klopp.
he's not doing well. Is he? Origi's not doing well.
Yeah, not under Klopp.
Origi moved from one bench to another bench.
Yeah, no, I don't see any actually from the Klopp era. No.
There ain't.
Yeah, there isn't.
There isn't. I mean, everybody that's left, they've just gone downhill from there.
Yeah.
So the formation we're going to be going with, obviously, is this, the usual, because of the personnel we got. You're still going to play Jota instead of Diaz, right? And Gakpo instead of Núñez.
Yeah.
And then you got El Capitan. I think like next season, just use Henderson in the number 6 role. If we're not going to buy number 6, to let him swap around with Fabinho. Let them share that position. Make them like rest in between, if you know what I mean. Like Fabinho plays 5 games and then Henderson comes in, or 4 games and then Henderson comes in and replaces him for 4 games. Things like that. We could do things like that. You know what I mean? Because I don't mind Henderson as a number 6. As long as the right personnel is around him. I don't know about you.
Yeah. No, Henderson suits that. As I said, like it doesn't suit with his back to goal. So someone that's just coming onto the ball as Liverpool are attacking probably suit him a lot more, and he can use his energy to plug those gaps that Trent may leave or Robertson may leave. So and hopefully, we got to upgrade on those number 8 roles.
Harley says, I adore Naby Keita. Will defend him at all costs, but it breaks my heart to say it might be time to let let go. You have to let go, bro. He's collecting medals just sitting on the bench. It shouldn't be like that, man. He should be contributing like everybody else. And
Mm.
ever since he walked through that door, he only had probably, you could say, semi like full season. That was last season. That's the only season I've seen him play a lot of games. But he still got injured. I remember Brighton at home. I was at that game. He got injured in the last season,
Yeah,
and it took him time to get back as well. So it's listen. He needs to go and find football somewhere else. It's time to go. It's time to go.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Before we go, bro, this one, yeah. Let's see what you're gonna say about it. Just for Arsenal purpose. Who's gonna win the Premier League, bro? We only got a few games left. Can Arsenal still do it, or is Man City? Man City's plan working?
This is what I hate about the Premier League. Sometimes they've got Liverpool playing exact same time as Arsenal and Man City, and so it's like, man, you can't put a big game with big teams as well playing. But yeah, going to the Arsenal game, I think it's done. Since the news came out that Saliba is not coming back, won't be available probably even for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Arsenal have let their best chance go
Mhm.
by dropping points to West Ham
Yeah.
and Southampton, because all they needed, even if they beat Southampton,
Mhm.
sorry, if they beat West Ham and Southampton, all they needed to do was draw against City or make sure they don't lose. And so now that option has been taken away. They've got to come out and do something to City. Will they?
Can that happen?
Oh, I mean, Man City can get.
It only takes a man getting sent off or something like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that can
they
happen.
can get flustered if you start fast and furious against them. They can get flustered, as you saw with how Liverpool used to deal with them.
Yeah.
2-3 goals, and then they're flustered. They
They're
don't know
finished,
what's
yeah.
going on. However, it's at Man City's ground. It's not at Anfield. It's not at it's not at the Emirates. So will Arsenal believe that they can do it? I think it's a step too far.
Mhm.
However, if they win, then they've got a great chance. But then they still got like Newcastle,
Mhm.
Brighton, Chelsea to come,
Yeah.
and so it's not a foregone conclusion if it happens. But I don't think so. I think Man City is just in that zone, and we've been through title runs with Man
Yeah,
City.
yeah, yeah.
Once they're in that zone,
I've always said like head to head we're always gonna lose because there's always a screw job around the corner. If you look
yeah,
at that season, the 2 seasons that we missed by 1 point, is that Leicester game in the first one in that snowy day, like I think it was ice on the
yeah,
floor and all
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Maguire taking out Mane and he was the last man. Did he get sent off?
yeah,
Nothing. No, I don't even remember even getting a yellow card. Forget about sending off.
exactly,
And then
exactly.
Navigator was in the box. His legs
He
was
got tripped.
stepped on
Yeah,
and he tripped over. Not a penalty. And then you got the last season, Rodri against Everton. You know what I mean? Handball all day long. Not even a VAR check, bro. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So now Arsenal are the Arsenal fans were saying to me, Fozzy, stop moaning. You know what I mean? That's football. The same ones that said that to me the other day told me,
I'm
you know
on
what?
him.
You were right all along. There's something going on here, man. I said, your
You
mother
know,
told you.
do you know as well? Like they like when Liverpool came out with like, listen, Man City and them cooking the books and have lower wages in Liverpool. It's a bit dodgy. So these guys have been cooking the books for years, right? And then and so Arsenal fans and United fans will be like, stop moaning, man. You're not a big club. Spend money if you're gonna spend money. And now the same thing, we can't compete with these guys. It's cheating. So
It's a
yeah,
joke. Listen,
it suits people with the same argument. But you need to be consistent. Don't be hypocritical, man. In life, being consistent. If you said something, stay consistent, man.
exactly, man. And not only that, Arsenal let themselves down. Their fan base let themselves down. The way they were acting is all off the pitch. You can't have a go at Liverpool fans, West Ham fans, and all these people, and then those fans are gonna motivate their players to beat you. And that's what happened to them. They They rattled all the fans in the country, thinking they're the best team in the world, the best team in England, calling every other team shit, like you saw the guy in the beginning of this stream. And then like we want to beat them. That's how we are. You know what I mean? You rattle us, we want you out. You know what I mean?
Exactly. One thing I couldn't understand for the life of me, right? They've seen Man City like go on huge runs, right?
Mhm.
So I could not see where this confidence was coming from. Like if it was me and I'm 5 points ahead of Man City, I'm not still gonna be confident. I'll be like, listen, we're nervous, one game at a time,
Yeah.
until it's clear. Like, what is it? I remember like the year we won the league.
Mhm.
I only celebrated that we won the league. I think it was after United 2-0. Even though it was like about 22 points ahead, I was still like, no,
There's a screw
we
job
can't
coming
say it.
probably.
Yeah, we can't say that until we beat United, and it was like, all right, done now. Like we beat United in March. I think it was March.
Yeah.
We beat Man United, and I thought, yeah, it's done. There's no way that anyone can catch us up. And according to that guy, listen, it's not COVID. If Liverpool were to stop and forfeit the rest of their games during COVID, we would have
We
still
still
won
would
the
have won
league.
it. Yeah.
So,
100%. H says England's loss is our gain. Rest Trent in international breaks every time. Stop England winning things while we're there. Yeah, I said it with Trent. Just quit international football, bro. There's no point in like staying around with Southgate in charge. It's going to be hard for you, bro. It's going to
or
be
he
hard
should
for
go
you.
to America and just play for America.
Yeah.
Like he can make a
Can he?
bucket load of money.
Is he? No, but he can't. Innit? He's already played in the competition.
I think they can do special dispenses. Like if they say, listen, if he appeals it and says, I think I've seen one or two players do that. Like once they've like know that they're not definitely gonna play for that team again, or they appeal it. Yeah, I think he can get something done there.
Yeah, he hasn't played a lot, has he? For in
Yeah,
competition terms, I can't remember
exactly,
him doing
exactly.
anything. So yeah, Harley says we don't win at the FA Cup or put 5 past United without Keita. He contributed to us with it winning nearly all 4 when fit. I can't remember him doing anything, bro. Like you know what I mean? I'm not gonna say anything else. I've already said my piece about Naby Keita collecting
No,
medals for us
he
everywhere.
was huge in the FA Cup semi-final last year
Oh, against the Man City, yeah,
against Man
I agree.
City. Yeah, he was huge.
But I
Like,
think the whole team was good in that day. It
yeah,
wasn't just
yeah,
him. Yeah,
yeah.
so yeah. Before we go, bro, give me. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Choose 4 players next season that could come into our team that can improve us. That you're already in mind.
Ooh, excluding Jude, yeah.
Yeah, dude. It might still happen though, from what I've heard. So
Yeah. So
you could include him if you want. If you,
no. I'll leave him out just because it's an obvious one. So, man, that's a tough question, you know.
Like you could look for positions, isn't it? Maybe 3 in midfield, 1 at the back, or 1 in the wing, 1 at the striker, or 2 in wings, or something like that.
Yeah. I think we still need a backup right winger, someone that can, especially Salah getting a little bit older now. He needs, sometimes to rest. Playing him every game is not right for me. So I'm thinking if we can get my man from West Ham, Jared Bowen, would be good. I don't know how many years he's got left on his contract, and obviously him being
he needs to have ambition, bro. I mean, otherwise you're gonna be like Harry Kane, age of 30, still at Tottenham. You know what I mean?
He's got to push it. Yeah, he's got to push it, and demand to go. I would definitely, if we could, definitely get Caicedo in. He's huge, man.
I'm the biggest advocate for Caicedo, man. I want him at Liverpool as soon as possible. But a lot of people say he will sell his own mum to go to Madrid or someone like that. But
yeah, that's the only issue. Like I think he's got ambitions outside of England. So
well, if Klopp talks to him, you never know, innit? A lot of players, like Firmino, them lot stayed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he will mention to him the grass is not always green on the other side. Look how many players fell. Look at Coutinho. How many was it? 145 million. He went down there for. What did he do? Where is he?
Yeah. And I don't think Real Madrid are in need of any more central midfielders right now. Anyway, so they've got a few young ones that they've just recently bought.
Yeah.
I would say Agate as well.
How good is
albeit
this guy? I don't watch football as much as I used to. I mean, if you asked me 20 years ago, bro, I'll give you every name,
everyone. Yeah,
every goal in the World Cups,
yeah.
every goal in the Premier League. Now, I just watch Liverpool, and that's about it, man. I've
Yeah,
lost passion for football in that way. Just my team, that's all.
yeah. No, when I heard a little bit about him, shout out to Moby on Twitter. He's always looking at these young players, up and coming players.
Mm.
And when he first mentioned it, obviously I never heard of him, so I was like, okay, let me see. Since he was in playing Arsenal 2 games, right? So I was like, let me see how he is. I think he missed the first game due to suspension,
Mm-hmm.
and he played the second game, and he was like unreal, like very aggressive,
Yeah.
CDM, like reads the game well,
Mm.
blocks passes, and as I said, it's like he covers ground and is very, very, very aggressive. Something I think Liverpool is missing completely from midfield
Yeah.
is that that someone that's like willing to take a yellow, sometimes take a red for the team.
I've been saying that for years, bro, not just now.
And this is the guy that came like literally for Sporting when and I think it was Saka. Yeah, Saka won the ball, and then he just came charging in and just took him out, got a second yellow, and he was off. And it was just there to show him, listen, you ain't getting an easy game today. Sometimes we need that, like, and yeah, and he's quite young as well. Uruguayan can make like make a little Uruguayan contingent with Nunes.
Nunes, yeah.
And so yeah, that and he's got a 50 million buyout clause, so it's
not a lot of money.
straightforward, isn't it? So like if Caicedo doesn't work out, that'll be wicked replacement there.
You're 100% right about the aggression side of Liverpool. This is why teams have a go at us. This is why teams don't care when they face us in regards to attacking us and all that stuff. If you have aggression in that midfield, if you look at all the greatest teams ever, I'm talking about Real Madrid's, Liverpool's, and Manchester United. You could add every team on that. They always had a hard man in that midfield that don't take anything and makes sure, like if a player gets past him, that player will get hurt. You know what I mean, or something along those lines. Because if you put the fear of God on people, they won't do the same thing twice in a game. You know what I mean? They will say, "No,
Exactly.
I'm not gonna go past this guy today. I got."
Exactly.
Remember when we used to play football? We used to get those kind of people that step on your toes and all that stuff and give you the dead legs. You know what I mean? That's if you have things like that on the pitch, man, you're gonna win more games than you're gonna lose, man. I'm telling you right now, we need a hard man in that midfield that will like.
Exactly. Like none of our players they don't even do like you don't even need to be like super like to hurt someone, but someone to just break down play, like those tactical fouls. You just letting people just bounce like the Real Madrid game at home, right?
Oh man,
Fabinho lost the ball, and all he had to do is just, hey, come, like, Modric, let me grab your shirt. You're staying here, like you're on a counter. I'll take a yellow. None of them think like this. This is the problem. Like,
it's annoying. It's really annoying, man. If you look at Liverpool players, everyone, if you look at Liverpool players, the funniest thing with Liverpool players, when they get on the pitch, they have clean shorts, they've got clean socks, clean boots, they've got clean shirts. They come off the pitch, it's the same all around the game. I've never seen someone who's got dirt on his shorts. Even these white kits, there's nothing dirty about them. Come on, guys, man. Put your life and soul in the team, man, and do the Steve McMahon, Ronnie Whelan kind of thing back in the day, man. Take everyone out so nobody. Do you remember? Do you know like when Graham Souness used to play in that midfield?
Yeah.
If you watch back, it's on YouTube. There's a lot of clips about him. If you look at that midfield, no one used to be near him.
Yeah.
Terry McDermott used to go at the front, like help out the strikers and score goals.
Yeah.
In that midfield, Graham Souness had all that space in the center circle. There was full circle. Nobody want to get near him. That's what we need, bro. Players like that.
Exactly. We can have that controlled aggression, man. It makes so much like. Surprisingly, we get Thiago that's like that, but however, he doesn't have the legs. Man. Yeah, and he doesn't have the legs.
Yeah. You see him running back, and he's like running backwards. Oh man.
So yeah, like if we could get someone like that, and one last player is like a shout is Lefebvre, who plays up in France, who's it's like a good Thiago mold, who's very like he plays in the six, and he's more of a playmaking six. He's not like a defensive six. So he's like more in mold of a Thiago, a slash Thiago with legs, basically. Some
Wow.
guy that can turn with the ball and drive into space and create from deep. Kind of like for Barcelona. What's the guy that they try to Man United are always after?
De
De
Jong,
Jong,
or
yeah, De Jong, yeah. Similar profile to him. If and he said it that he's actually leaving at the end of the season. He's got one. I think he's got one more year in his contract, so could be a good shout there. He's very young as well, so
yeah,
that'll be
yeah.
my shout.
No, that's what we need in that midfield. Like, although I love that well-oiled machine we used to have, we've got to step away from that. We can't run players to the ground anymore, people. If we want longevity from them, you got to mix it up. You got to mix it up. Technical players with, hard-working players. It will match well. It will match well. But as long as those technical players can run, it'll be good as well.
Yeah, 100%, one
You
hundred
know
percent.
what I mean? Redbird says, I haven't seen Trent looking so looking as happy as he seems to be in his new role. As long as there is cover, I'll keep him there. I say like play him away games, like I said in the beginning, and then just play him in his normal role in the home games. You know what I mean? So we don't give anything out wide, Redbird. That's how I go on about it, bro. Um, one last thing, bro. Score prediction for the game on Sunday.
2-1 Liverpool.
2-1.
Yeah,
They're gonna. I don't know.
West Ham will
West
score.
Ham. West Ham. They're looking good, man. They're looking
They've
good.
got Antonio up front, and if we
Why
thought
does
that,
Antonio always have good games against us,
yeah,
man? But he doesn't do
exactly,
nothing in the whole season.
exactly.
Because Van Dijk is there. He wants to like beat Van Dijk, man. You know?
He has this little competition with Van Dijk that he wants to show him how strong he is. So
Yeah.
I've seen an interview with him saying, yeah, Van Dijk is the strongest defender he plays against. So he likes to see if he can get one up on him.
Yeah. Look at Has. He wants to replace Hendo and Thiago, not Thiago and Jones. Oh my God. No.
Huh?
Look, says
Thiago Jones.
Hendo slash, but keep Jones and what was it? So
No,
Thiago Jones and
can I
Hendo slash. Oh,
can
okay,
I
okay.
say something about
Go on,
Jones?
go on,
Like
bro.
Has, I know H is a big fan of Jones. Yeah,
Jones. Yeah.
Jones. The only thing I have a concern about is he's dwelling on the ball sometimes a little bit too much. We got like in the lower leagues or slower leagues, yeah, that's fine. You can do that. The Premier League is a fast league. You've got players coming running back at you from behind. Uh, in the Arsenal game, I saw 2 or 3 times he's done it and just waited a little bit too long. However, in the Leeds game, when he got the ball and I saw he put that through ball in for Jota, this is what we need from Jones. You've got the ability to hold on to the ball, but you need to show those in spurts when it's really
Yeah.
necessary.
Spot on.
Majority of your game should be just pass and move, pass and move, pass and move. And then when they're not expecting it, then you use your dribbling ability to go bypass players.
Yeah.
Not to do it the opposite way, where he's just holding onto the ball and then from time to time pass. If he switches those two around, and I remember do you remember the Porto game when he gave the ball to
Oh,
Salah?
what a game he had.
Yeah,
Porto away. Yeah.
I was like,
Last
yeah, I was
season.
like,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this if he can, iron out those little, I know
Errors.
it's not easy because he wants to, he wants to show
Impress.
something to get attention from the managers to play him more, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's those little things, the simple things that the managers are looking for. Managers are
Yeah.
just looking, play it simple, and when you need it, then you show your stuff. Like, but
It's
yeah,
true.
so
100%. Who's Lucho? Is that
that's
Nunes?
Luis Diaz.
Luis Diaz.
That's his
Guys,
nickname.
I'm old, so I won't know these nicknames you guys give our players. But I want to see Lucho score against the Hammers. Now that would be now that would get the fan base buzzing. Yeah, yeah. Listen, that's what we all want, and I hope it happens. I really hope it happens because I see this game as a difficult game, Redbird. I think West Ham has just hit form, and it's the wrong timing for us. That's what I'm getting angry about. Redbird says, I believe Klopp has a plan. We have to keep the faith and trust in the process. 100%, bro. All this about Klopp and the 7 years curse and all that stuff. Don't believe people like that. Like there's too much voodoo stuff people believe in. I don't understand anymore, man. This is football. I mean, the guy's never had 7 years in a club. Now he's gone above that. So let's see what he can do in a longevity in one club. And I've always said it. There's no other manager that can manage Liverpool other than Jurgen Klopp. Because if other managers come to Liverpool, they'll use us as a stepping stone to go to bigger teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, and etc. And that's what we don't want. He says no to teams like that. You're telling me when we was winning all those trophies, I think there was an actual press conference and the Real Madrid game. One of the reporters said, "Isn't Real Madrid attractive prospect? Like try to get him down there."
Mm,
He said, "No,
mm.
I love my club here. I'm a Liverpool guy. That's where I'm going to be." I mean, how many managers can say that, Mohammed? Be honest, bro. Like,
Exactly. He's found a team that fits his ethos, a city that perhaps has the same views as him, and so why should he go away from that? And he's always said that he doesn't want to coach the best team. He wants to coach the team that can beat the best team. So
Rocky
he,
Balboa, bro.
yeah, exactly. He likes that, and he likes to. And why not follow him? I mean, that doesn't mean he doesn't want any money to improve the team,
Yeah.
but he wants to build a team to be great rather than just go into a great team already and
And we've
then
got no
just
choice.
continuing. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Liverpool is a Rocky Balboa city. We love being an underdog, so it's just marriage made in heaven, as they say, with the manager and the city of Liverpool. Listen, I'm happy with him as a manager. If finance can come for him, I'll be even more happier. But I can't see that happening unless this ownership. Unfortunately, it's just FSG. I mean, you know my feelings towards them, bro. I know I talk about it a lot of times, but I can't be fooled. You know what I mean? Like you can't fool me. You can't keep doing. Oh, we're gonna put the club up for sale. Oh, we change our mind when the transfer window closes. You know what I mean? Like we're not fools, man. We're not fools. We know what you're doing. I
Yeah.
mean, I worked in America. I teach football in America,
Yeah.
and I worked with millionaires and billionaires kids. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I know how the business works out there and what they do.
Yeah.
So don't. If you look at American ownerships, they're never rich, bro. Even if you look at the Chelsea owner, although he spends 600 million, what people don't know, there's an Arab investor who's actually in
Mm.
their board that actually invests in the team. So
Yeah.
think about that, people. Look back at Chelsea and see who's really investing in the team. It's not that guy, Todd Bowley.
Exactly. It's not in the MO of American owners to to invest heavy money,
No.
and so and the Arabs are known to spend heavy
Spend money,
money.
and they love football, Arabs. I mean, I
Yeah.
was born in Saudi Arabia, so I know how we feel like over there, how they feel about football,
Yeah.
and they love football, man. Any Arab country, their first sport is football.
Yeah.
It's not American football, it's not baseball, it's not basketball, anything like that. Football is a worldwide sport. Hence why these Americans are coming into this country to get get their feet wet with the money and all that stuff. That's what they're here for. They know that football is the best sport in the world. That's why it took them to, was it 1995 to start MLS.
Yeah.
And they try to do their own kind of way of playing as well, like penalty shootouts, no draws. You know what I mean? And the penalty shootouts is from the halfway line, the guy running towards the goal. What kind of football is that? These are the people we're actually, dealing with.
They took that from hockey. I think they do
Mate,
that in
that was
hockey.
in Channel 5. I remember when it first started. I was watching it at night. I said, what?
But it's kind of fun though. You have to admit it's kind of fun. If we didn't have any draws and it went to straight penalties afterwards, that would be quite.
Well, you spend your money in it.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
an hour and a half anymore. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Crazy, mate. Crazy. Redbird says Hoofman slows us down. It means Henderson slows us down. It's just sad, mate. Like when we're successful, not many people complain about Henderson. When we're not successful, all that stuff comes out. So you got to be consistent, like my man said earlier, with your arguments. If you didn't like Henderson in the beginning, then just come out and say it. Don't say it when we're struggling. When the team as a whole is struggling. It's not just him. The team as a whole ain't doing what they used to do anymore, and they look tired on there. John Conway says 1-3 to Liverpool. Man City and Arsenal. He says 3-1 to Man City. They're gonna batter them, bro. I mean, do you guys think like Man City all season didn't know this was gonna happen at the end? Are you guys like think about what I'm saying here? Man City knew Arsenal are gonna drop points like this. They knew already. They knew they didn't have the strength in depth like them. If that was Liverpool at the top of the league, 5 points clear, 8 points clear, they would have given up ages ago and go to Champions League football and try and win that. Because they know their own the only rival they have are struggling this season. They're just giving on hope, make the league interesting. You know what I mean? That's what they've done. If they run away with the league, about 20 points clear, we're gonna be like the Bundesliga and La Liga. Nobody's gonna look at this league anymore now because the points is so close. Everybody's still looking at this league and see who's gonna win. That's why Man City do what they do. They knew what they're doing from the beginning, man. Arsenal was never a competitor for them, man. I swear, no joke. I said that. I said that from the beginning. Man City's too rich, too much, man. Their bench can compete for the league, man.
Facts. It's facts. It's facts.
So where can they find you, bro? Just let them know if people just tuned in at the end or they're watching this back.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, No Beats, football analysis, and Twitter as well. Football analysis. I just try and break down most Liverpool. No, we haven't been active the last month due to Ramadan, but hopefully, Liverpool come with really good signings that I can just try and break down and see how they'll fit at Liverpool. So yeah, follow me on those two platforms. It'll be great.
No worries. 1 second. Don't go anywhere, bro. Yeah, I'll be back
Yeah,
in a second. Yeah.
no worries.
Yes, John, thank you very much, bro. Much appreciated to everyone today. Honestly, much appreciated. Thanks for coming on. It helps a lot. The channels, like when you guys come and contribute as well. It doesn't matter how many people, as long as people come on here, have their say, and we all like have our own debates and all that stuff. It makes the channel more interesting. And I've always said like I've come back because a lot of people ask me to come back, and I'm trying to do it more or less every day or every other day to get you great content. Thank you, John, for coming on. Great stream, guys. He says, Redbird, as always. Thank you, brother. Harley, thank you for coming on. And Statman, Jamie Phillips, Rero Master. If I missed that anyone, I'm sorry. Like everyone that's come on, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on. And I should be back tomorrow. I think it's the Premier League show, so I could discuss what's happened over the weekend. Some of the results after the game were similar to mine that I put out in the previous show. The teams, like majority of them, have won, but the scoreline could be different to the ones I've predicted. So yeah, join me tomorrow, same time, same place, and I'll see you. I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Please, yeah, like, share, subscribe, and go and subscribe to New Beats as well. He's a great content creator, and follow him on Chris Khan's shows as well. He does it down there as well. So yeah, take care, everybody. Take care. Take care. Take care.